Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we're back with another slime video. I have taken a nap, I have awoken, and had a bit of time to process these new units that have released, or well, are coming tomorrow. It's actually quite nice that they did the live stream today, because it means that we still have, you know, a day left on all of the half anniversary banners, minus Rimuru, who's going until the 4th, so he's got a few more days left. But based on what we have seen as far as these units' kits, do I recommend you summon for them, or do you take your pick of the just now ending meta? Initially, because, you know, based on their kits, Mirren is wonky, her kit is interesting, but I feel like it's going to fall off a cliff very, very quickly after this meta leaves. I kind of liken it to, like, Space 3.0, Earth 2.0, the kind of things where you're like, oh, that's fun and interesting, and then you never use them again, right? Changing all the orbs to, you know, or well, doing light follow-up attacks doesn't really matter outside of the beatdown battle and the Jubilee that'll come. I don't really foresee it working that well in Valor Cup. It might be interesting, but I think the orbs are single targets, so I don't know. We'll have to see. But I mean, Shuna on paper is a very, very good DPS, right? Light attack buff for herself, crit damage by 50% for herself. That's fairly good, and quite honestly, that's what I wanted on Rimuru. But you win some, you lose some. So I think she has some good staying power. Just like Guy, she is a Magic EX character, our first DPS for Magic EX. She's got the Orb Steel, which is cool. Her own personal buff, so you could, since she's magic, you could put her with like light protector Shuna and stack up that stun strike and pierce power. Put someone who has pierce like Raphael on it, and then put the hero on the team, and you've got, you know, a double DPS unit. You've got Raphael getting extra stun strike by 40% on his skill, and then you've got Shuna getting extra crit damage from, you know, her skill. Which, if you have the hero, then you'll be getting crits. The crit damage, the attack buff, the light attack buff she gets will be overshadowed by what Light Valentine is giving, but it's neither here nor there. And yeah, so that's all we know so far. We have the two units, right? Now, are they better than these units down here? I would say that Shuna is better than both of these units right here, Shizu and the hero. I don't use Shizu anymore. She was useful for you know, the World of Fantasy meta. You can put her on Fount of Wisdom and she can run slightly efficiently, but she's orb changing away from blue orbs. Technically she's doing an orange to green, but it's not a blue orb, and the Fount of Wisdom team runs on blues, so she is stacking attacks, so she gets a little bit of reprieve. The hero is really, really good in Valor Cup, and pretty good on other teams that you need some extra elemental resistance down, or you need to hide an orb, just like what the Earth EX Rimuru does. But I wouldn't call them, you know, DPS powerhouses or things that will change your gameplay. The hero definitely has more value than Shizu by far, but I really can't recommend summoning on this banner anymore. Their meta is, you know, now 2 metas ago almost, essentially. And then don't summon on that. Guy, Velzard, and Valentine. They've been here for quite a while now. And if you don't have Guy and you don't have Velzard, I would suggest going for them over these, you know, the Shuna and Mirren, because Shuna will be good outside of the meta. Mirren will not be good outside of the meta. I don't foresee it happening. Velzard is a almost kind of generic stacking protector. She is still limited in who she buffs, but she does buff quite a few categories. And if you didn't know, let's go check her out real fast. So protection character, Velzard, and she is buffing Warrior's Mind and Dragon Hakai, which obviously we just came out of the Dragon Warrior's Mind. But if you turn on the filters, they have made a few changes, and now they have added all of the Millims onto Dragon Hakai, which previously not all of them were there for some reason, but now they are, which means that you can now buff, War or Fantasy Millim, Space Millim, Dark Millim, Fire Millim, Octogram Millim, Light Millim. You could buff all of these Millim's attack now forever, and that has a lot of value because you've got an alt buffer and orb changer here. You've got if you skill fuser, you got a DPS here. You've got a damage dealer here. You got a damage dealer here. You have crit here to help Water Millim crit. I mean, there's a few options that you could use. I probably will do a video now that we have all the Millims and call it good. But I mean, that has a lot of power right there. Millim is a very popular character. We're going to keep getting Millim units. We're probably going to get a few more Veldora units in the future too, because we haven't had a new battle unit Veldora since this motherfucker right here. And that was December of 2021? It's been a hot minute. Velzard is waifu. We're going to get more of her. We already have 3. So it's not like Dragon Hakai is never going to receive buffs. And it's also not like Warrior's Mind is also not going to receive buffs. So let's just pull up both of the categories that she's buffing. And, it's a solid roster. Guys here, obviously, Hinata is here. Yuki, Carrion, Ranga, Daggerel. So, I mean, this is a solid roster, and it's only going to get bigger, plus, EX Reamer is here. It's a pretty powerful buff. This Murin does not have that kind of power. Now, we've yet to actually use her and see how much damage her actual follow-up orbs will do in a good setting, but for now, I really cannot recommend people summon for her if they don't have Velzard or Guy. Valentine, you can skip. You're totally fine with doing that. I went the totally wrong direction. But Guy has immense staying power after this meta is over. We will use him for a long time. We just got done talking about Velzard. Valentine is good in specific scenarios that you set her up for. Violet is another very good character that will probably see a lot of usage outside of her meta. Orb stealing for blues, we've been using that with Water Rimuru since he came out in August of last year, and it's still a really good skill. And then her buff and debuff is really powerful if you're going into a physical team, so she's going to have a lot of staying power as well. EX Rimuru, he's going to be around for a little bit longer. He is good, limited, so until they start putting out more Earth and Space units, he will kind of be relegated off to the side a little bit, but he is still a good unit, nonetheless. Do I think he's better than the Shuna? As of right now, no. No, I don't. If we get, another run of Earth and Space characters that are really, really good, then his value will go way, way up. But for now, he's only really doing Violet, Valentine, and Guy, because they're the only ones that really need another 100% alt gauge. You can use him with Space Millim if you want, but she doesn't really need double alt gauge because she can only use one at a time. So, honestly, you can probably skip him as well, but then just know that in the future, if they do end up releasing more, you might hurt a little bit. But I would really, 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 really recommend that if you do not have Guy and Velzard, I would recommend you summon for them over summoning for Mirren and Shuna. Plus, you've got Koban multis, you've got the free tickets. Anyone can get lucky on those. You remember my Guy summons from last month where I pulled 2 of him and a Velzard and one ticket multi? I mean, that can happen to people. It's not often, but it can happen to you. So, that is my initial thoughts in case you were ever wondering. I wanted to put this up before we got the full kits for the new units, because I know people are going to ask, and we still have that full day for you to make that decision, so I wanted to get it out quickly. But that is my official stance right now. We still have, 2 characters to come out for this entire meta, which is going to take weeks and weeks. But by then, these will be gone. I believe that these units will have much more value overall than these units here. And then, you know, Aaron and Triya are free, so we don't have to worry about them. But yeah, that's my advice for you. My third stance would be, if you have everyone from the Warriors Mind meta and you're not impressed, or you're on the fence about this meta, I just wait. Just wait. You don't have to summon right as they come out. They're going to be here for a month until, you know, June 30th is when their meta will end, which is on a Friday. Okay, interesting. I guess if they have a live stream on Friday, that's good, because I don't work Fridays. But if you're not sold, don't summon. You don't have to have every unit in the game, and especially because they didn't tell us anything about the special project, that could be in July. It could be a collab. It could be something really interesting. Maybe not a collab, but something interesting and new units that you really want to pull for. And you're like, why did I waste, you know, 1,000, 1,200 crystals on these characters? And I didn't even pull them, and they weren't really that hype anyways, and they have no real staying power after their meta. Yeah, I mean, those are very fair arguments, to which I would say, don't summon. Don't summon. This meta is very good. It was the 1.5 anniversary. They're supposed to be good. This meta is like the, we know we got a lot of hype, we used a lot of summons. Here's something that's kind of like, meh, you can skip it. You'll be okay. Alright? So, that is my official stance. Let me know in the comments how you feel. Are you going to pull for them regardless? Are you going to keep pulling for Guy and Violet and Rimuru? Let me know, but that's it for me. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.